Hi again, everybody. This is a message from Amy. Ollie, I saw your video about Trump and needing more videos, so here's one about a trust. I am Amy, the buck stove lady. Last time I wrote, I mentioned that I had been no contact with my family for over a year now. This summer, Dad over at NARC wrote me an awkward letter explaining how I had to stay in contact with him over a trust. His mother, my grandmother, left us. This was a surprise. She died 6 years ago. He never mentioned this to me before. 16 years ago, when she was still alive, he told me that we, the family, were not going to get anything from her when she dies because she signed a paper that gave all her money away to the bank. That's ridiculous. Ollie, I didn't even ask. He just told me this at a time in my life when I really didn't care. Since his letter, I received some documentation in the mail from a bank about this trust. After the first letter, I called the bank asking what this was about. They thought I was still living with my parents, and just recently Dad gave them my real address. The person I spoke to said this would affect my tax return. I asked if I could be taken off the trust, and the answer was no. What can I do to take my name off the trust? It's obviously his way of keeping control over me. Also, I am concerned about my tax records since my grandma died in 2009 and now in 2016 I have a trust. Thanks again, Ollie. You're great. Trump or no Trump. Amy. Well, look, as far as I know, a trust is what it is. And unless it's altered for the person, unless the person who's leaving you the trust alters it before they die, it is what it is. I mean, a trust is something you're supposed to get money at a certain time or day. Now, as far as your tax records go, I don't know what it could be affecting other than maybe it goes against personal assets, earned income, if it's an interest bearing trust, which is possible. Maybe that's what they're talking about. I would find out when the trust matures and what the terms are. Is there like an executor? Does your father get to dole out the money? Which usually isn't. A trust is usually, there is no executor. It's usually a lawyer or a bank or something, and they dole out the effects when it comes. This isn't something your father can hang over your head, I don't believe. Now, if he was doing some fuckery, telling the bank you were still living there, taking some kind of deduction, that could be what he's worried about and why he's trying to suck you in. I don't know how much of a tax burden or a tax liability a trust would cause, other than, it might go to earned income, but you don't have any of that money until it matures. So you spoke to the bank. I mean, did they tell you when the trust matures, how it works, how much it's for? It's hard to say. It really is. I mean, I'm looking at this from your dad's angle after telling you you weren't getting anything, and now after all these years of no contact, now he needs to talk to you over a trust. I think he might have done something. Um, Probably something he was manipulating on. So, just seems like another attempt to sucker you back in. You shouldn't have to deal with your father if the bank is handling all this. There's nothing that, what would you need to call your father about if the bank is the one handling all this? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't think you want your name taken off a trust. The trust matures when it matures. I don't think it can be altered. I don't know. I know you might be looking at it as blood money, but it's not really because you didn't even know about it. I'd be pretty poetic if you're able to go no contact and still get your trust. So I don't know if it's the trust you shouldn't trust, but your father, once again, because he really has no reason that I can think of that he would need to contact you over this, unless he needs you to back him up on something he was doing fucked up, which I think is probably more the case. So thank you for your story, Amy. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email links in the description box. And remember, when you do email me your story, to please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. Zolly Matthews, thanks for watching. See you all again soon.